Hi everybody, welcome back to CC Davis Studio. I'm Colette and I'm so glad that you're here. This is the new year, so it's 2026 and it's the first week of January, and I thought I would come on and do a bit of stitching with you. So a while back I went to a lovely workshop with Kate in the Nest, and I started doing just a bit of a fabric panel, and just sewing away and really enjoying myself and trying to be inspired by beautiful Kate's style and the way she goes about things. So I'll show you a photo on my iPad. I hope you can see it. That's sort of where I was going. It had another little bits on it and lots of lovely things and flowers, and then different colors I was just testing out, and I just pinned them down, and I just loved this main flower and I couldn't stop fiddling with it. And I just thought, you know what, I'm going to do a Kate in the Nest, and I'm going to, what's the word she used, harvest that flower off there. So I just felt like thread painting and enjoying the colors, and pink isn't really my color, but I do like the reds and the burgundies and those kinds of colors. So I've done a Kate and I've harvested the flower that I love, and I'm going to make a notebook cover. So that's what I started with, and I've got all those other lovely little pieces that I can use on other things. So that's fantastic, and I feel really happy about that. So where I got to was, this was the flower, and I have gone and thread painted, and it's very bad on the back, but really thick because it's on blanket. And you can see there I've done bullion stitch in the green little part for the bud and the seeds, and then I've used lots of different colors and just thread painted in there, different weights, so wool and DMC, really bright pink on blanket stitch on the edges, and just heavily thread painted it, and I just love it. It's outside of my comfort zone in that it's not the colors that I would normally go for. These are more my colors, but I really love it. So what else I got when I was with Kate was all of these little bits as well. So I thought that I could use those to embellish, and then this came off the same fabric, and I think, Kate, tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, is this Sanderson? I think it might be a Sanderson print, and Kate's very generous and she gave us a whole lot of things, so I've got that as well, so I may be able to thread paint that one and add it. So I would like to make just a book cover. Kate gave me these also that went with my colors, so it's really still going to be Kate inspired, and I'm going to utilize those in some way, which is just lovely. Here are some thread that I've been using. I've run out of this one, which I just loved. It was really great. These are all from op shops, so thrift stores, charity shops, depends on where you are in the world, and these are like 50 cents each. Sometimes I get them in bundles as well. So I've basically used all thrifted except for this, and that's from Little Woolies, and that is their variegated threads that they have, and they are just the most lovely quality that I've ever worked with. And now I've said that, I don't reckon it is Little Woolies. I think it could be what Kate gave us. Of course I don't have them here. Oh, hang on, I might. Hang on, how rude is that? Hold on. Oh. So you've all seen my little pouch. Now just don't ignore the mess. Kate, did you give us these? I think you did. Is it yours, Kate? No, I don't think it is it? That's not the right colour. No, it mustn't be. Oh, I thought I was being very clever then. That's all I've got left of that one. It's Little Woolies. It has to be Little Woolies. Let me have a look at Little Woolies. Oh, got lots of things in there. That's where my black thread went. Good one. Okay. Amazing what you find when you go through your little things. I really don't want to get the little woolly stuff out. But anyway, so if you have never gone down to Hastings in Victoria, Melbourne, or go on their website and have a look, Little Woolies, they sell sock yarn and things like that. And I just love their wool. It's just beautiful to work with. So these are some of the colours that I've been utilising. So I'm just so chuffed with that. This is, I know you're going to ask me, I don't know what fabric it is. It'll be, I picked it up at some show somewhere. I just think that's gorgeous, and I was thinking, doesn't go badly, does it? Or going a different route and going there. Come on, screen through the screen. Which one do you think goes better? I like them both. So I put those out there for inspiration, and this is really thick and feels like Sanderson, which is rather amazing if it is, but I could be wrong with that too, because I never remember names of those things, and I'm so sorry that I don't pay attention to those things, but I just don't. So it feels a bit like that, good quality, very thick. And then this is some really, really thick linen that I picked up. I've still got the tag on it, from Epilepsy Foundation Op Shop, also in Hastings. So it was on a day that I went there. It was $5, and if I remember rightly, they had a percentage off that as well. So, but it's a really big piece. So I thought that I could use this, because it's really thick weight, to be the note cover base. But I'm not sure. So let me put some of these things to the side and I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've got 2 pieces of the linen, and it is approximately about 18 inches, which is about 46 centimeters, about. And the reason I'm doing it this length is that's basically an A5 sheet of paper for Australians. I'm not really sure what it is in other countries. It's pretty much the size, a little bit bigger. I will be embellishing it, so it will need to be a bit bigger. And basically what I want it to do is I want to be able to, I did 2 because I'm not sure if I'm going to have one as my base and then put everything on top and then have this underneath. So basically what I want to do is have 2 folds that the cover of the notebook can slip into, and then enough space in between, so just like that. So I'll sew those bits together like that. So A5 is what it is in Australia. I'm not sure about other countries, but they're the size notebooks that I generally use. So I'm going to put one of those to the side, and then here I might zoom us out a little bit. So if I'm going to say it's about, so let's put just a basic little finger press. So that's about it, because then we'll know how much room we have to play with. Now I have seriously hot hands. If you want to iron it, you do you. I'm okay with things being not exact, but if you are an exact kind of person and this would really upset you, you go for it. You do what you need to do for you. So that looks pretty good to me. Just straighten that up a little bit. And then we can get into of stitching, hey, and deciding what we want to do, if I want this to be my base or whether or not I want one of the other fabrics to just be the base. Now that's not straight, so I might come and trim that up a little bit later, or now, because it might annoy me. Now I'm going to have mostly raw edges on things, so if you want to needle turn, applique or sew it together on your sewing machine or by hand, that's great, you do it. But now would be the time to make that decision. All right. I can hear you all saying, just iron it, Colette. Yep, that sounds logical. Is Colette going to do any of those things? Probably not. Why? Because I do like to make my life difficult, don't I? Do you want me to iron it? Will it make you all feel better if I do? All right. Now, oh, I forgot to show you, with French laundry labels, I got a C-O-L-E-T-T-E, so that's my name, Colette, C-O-L-E-T-T-E. And I have just put that on a bit of calico and ironed it down, and then using whisper weft, and then just gone and sewn around it as well. And so I might have that somewhere. I just love this so much. It's going to be very hard for me to add anything to it, or bear with me. In the background, it could be that to give it a bit of something something, with this. There's not much room, and this is the feature. Do I just add a little, just to pick up this, or almost the same kind of, trying to get the same kind of sizings. Sorry, if I'm going to have that weight, they still have to be down the bottom. Sorry. It's the flowers, the way I'd like them to be positioned. That feels really busy. Why is that? Is it too same? Do I like this better? Which I would not have thought I'd be choosing. Do I like this one? Oh, I do. Why do I like that better? That's not at all what I thought I would choose. Oh, what do you think? Or back to the plain. And then I could maybe blanket stitch all around these parts. Wow, I'm leaning towards that. Go on in the comments, tell me your thoughts. It'll be too late by then, but I want to know. Am I making a mistake? Why do I like that so much? And I am a more is more kind of gal. I could put like seed stitch in the back and use some different kind of colours, you know, in the neutrals, just to give it something. I think the red would be too much. I think the pink isn't right. I don't hate that, because that's what I was thinking I could go around in blanket stitch around the outside and pick up the red in there. Wow, this is not where I thought it would go. So that would be the front if we're going with this, and then on the back, because I want it to be able to lay flat when I'm writing, I just thought something little like that. Do I want that in there, or just that? And then have the blanket stitch going all the way around the outside, and maybe some turkey work in the middle of those. I love that. Wow, this is not what I thought. And then, do I feel like it would match my sets of things? I'm trying to make sets of things. Do I think that it would match this better, which has a bit more of the pinks on it? So do I think that it would match? And maybe I could put, no, I can't put buttons because I need it to lay flat. So if I brought the maroon in, would that feel more like it matches? Okie dokie. Not at all what I thought. And maybe if I really, oh, what's going on there? Oh wow. Okay, I'll just sew that down. There's a bit of glue. I really thought I'd be going somewhere else with this, but that's okay. Things change. I'll sew that down later, but let's just glue that for now. By the way, this dries clear. Anyone who's thinking, oh my gosh, it's blue so you can see where you've been. Leave that there for now. Okay, I think that's it. And I do think it matches better with that. See here, this material that is here is this one. And what I've done to make it be more my colours is I've embellished it. Is that one? Yeah. So I've embellished it to make it not so pinky red. I'm always on the side of burgundy red, so the blue red, not the yellow red, if that makes any sense to you. Okay, well, let's put these over there. Well, that's surprising. That's really surprising. So which red do I want? That one. Put that there. Put this here, possibly this. There they are. Okay, so then what I can do is use the second piece as the insert, or you'll be able to see all of my do I want it to be a bit thicker? So do I add some batting or something in there? Oh my God, yeah. Do I have a big enough piece just sitting here from Kate? It's thin enough that I don't think it's going to be too thick. to be. Because I've got to make these decisions now if I want to be able to blanket stitch around it. So this is thicker. It feels too thick. Do I just grab the whisper weft? She says, as she can't see it, so I don't even know where it is. You'd think that I would be more prepared, wouldn't you? No, it's school holidays and I'm a bit tired, so I haven't really prepared. Not that I prepare really any time. That makes it sound like I prepare sometimes. No, not really. Can't see it on hand because the whisper weft would just give it a little bit of depth and, you know, be a bit more substantial without having to have a whole lot of blanket behind it. Is this annoying you now that I'm just wittering on? I'll be back in a sec. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, so I've sewn this down, which looks really great, and it's really hard to sew through, so I'm going to have to be, you know, really mindful of my hands because this is really thick, because it's also got that blanket on the back as well, so that nearly killed me. So all I did was, you can probably see there, just a little bit of running stitch underneath, which is fine, and you know, you can see a few little bits, but that's okay. I probably should have used pink, but you know, I had white on hand, so I used that. But I think it looks really good on there, and I also got my name on there as well, so that's really great. I'm just filming, sweetheart. You all right, love? Sorry guys, I'll be back in a sec. So I've gone and done blanket stitch all the way around the outside, and then with this, which is this on here. So I've gone around the outside, the whole sort of outside. I'm going to take it out a little bit. So all the way around the outside, I've done blanket stitch, and you've seen me do blanket stitch many times. I didn't think it was worth showing you it again, but also I just got into it and forgot to film it after I was speaking to my husband. So basically the inside looks like this, and all I've done is used this. I think if you've watched some of my thrifting hauls, this is just bias binding, linen bias binding, and it's very, very pink, and all I've done is finger pressed it in half and then put it on the side. So, and then I've just done a little bit of a running stitch all the way along in the same thread. When I got to here, I've just doubled that up to be able to put it together. So basically my book is double that. So I just wanted it to be able to get in there without too much trouble. And so my book will go inside there like that. I've left enough room because my book is a bit bulky, and I have different signatures in it as well. So that's how it turned out. I put my name on the bottom, Colette. So I've shown you that before, where it's a C-O-L-E-T-T-E, and that's just all of the different letters combined that you can buy the French laundry labels. And because my name has got lots of doubles in it, it can look really, really odd, but that's okay. I know it says Colette, even though it's the T's and the E's and the L's all start to look the same in the C. The only thing you can really notice is the O, but still, I love it. So I just went in and did the fusible interfacing in between. So this fusible interfacing in between each of the linen, and then just ironed it flat. And you can sort of see it does pucker in different parts. If that's going to be on the inside, so I didn't really care. And then I've just gone and done the blanket stitch and the whip stitching all the way around. I just put this on here because this was a raw edge, and because I'm going to be taking the book in and out, I just didn't want it to fray over time. Same with here. You can see on this side, you can see where the two pieces have joined. So I've just tucked those in with the interfacing and then ironed it flat, and they stay together. And yeah, you can sort of see where it's all kind of joined together. So I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. And if I can find my book, I'll come back and show you what my book looks like in it. But I'm really pleased. I think it looks really, really good. And using things that I have found, but also, you know, going to Kate and the Nest's workshop and just being inspired by other people and the way in which, you know, they do their work. You know, Kate has a very different style to me, and it's just gorgeous, and you can learn from other people or really be inspired by other people. So I feel like this is a tribute to Kate and the things that I did with her, which was just lovely. And, you know, harvesting this, using Kate's word, harvesting this and putting it on there, but, you know, doing the things that I love, which is that really heavily embellished little things, because I love miniatures. I think, yeah, it really speaks to how I work, but also, yeah, just lent from that. So I think it matches quite nicely, well, I think it does anyway, with my pouch that I use all the time. So I think it looks really good with that. Do you think so? I think it looks really nice with that. It does kind of match. It sort of is in a good size with, I'm going to just bring us out maybe a little bit more. I think it's a really good size with this as well. So yeah, I feel really good about that. And I think the next step for me would be, I have a beautiful bag that I got at Corinne's retreat. That is a Goodman bag that is similar kind of colours. But I also have a little bag that my friend Aida made me years and years ago. And it absolutely fits this in there perfectly. And I think Ada wouldn't mind if I embellished it in my own way. But isn't that the cutest little bag? So when I'm, you know, taking my son to basketball and, you know, having to sit there for hours and hours while they train, this is a good little bag if I don't want to take my big bag that I got from Corinne's retreat with it. So yeah, I can put all my little sewing things, and I also have, I want to make another pouch, well, I am making another pouch at the moment that I can put like a project in. I'll show you how far I've got with this one, and I am going to film again this one. So you've seen this before if you've been following my channel for a little while. You've seen me start this with, and it's similar kind of colours, but the beading takes a really long time, and, you know, the thread painting. So, and I'm not convinced I want all of these things on there, so I may just take all of those off and then sort of decide how much I want of that on there as well. And I haven't finished up here. So that will then make this into a little pouch that may be too big to go in that bag. See, it's a little bit big. So we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I love these kinds of colours as well. So I feel very accomplished that I got my notebook cover finished, and I hope that you maybe do one and join in and do a little bit of a notebook cover for yourself. And yeah, it's lovely just to use some of the things that we have and just enjoy it. So thanks for joining in and following along with me, and I hope you have a great week. And my husband is on the mend, which is fantastic, and I just feel that I can now sort of turn my attention to sewing again. So sorry I haven't been posting in the last couple of weeks. It's been Christmas and New Year's and all those things, but we've had to sort of support my husband a little bit. So thanks very much for joining me. Have a great week, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.